Hey girl,
Hi.
how you doing?
Oh, you're good. How are you?
Why are we Kermit? Prattle Potion is presented to you by Kermit the Frog.
Oh, that would be great. I would love that. I would love that. Oh my god, imagine if there was like a soundboard where it changed your voice to Kermit the Frog. So it sounded like two Kermit the Frogs.
I'm sure there are. I'm sure there is something like that out there.
Oh, please, if anyone wants to hear that, so just say yes. You say yes, and we'll do it. We'll do it in an upcoming episode.
Hell we bitch. First off, I wanted to start this episode by saying that I've had a little bit of a thought when it comes to our beginning of the episodes. Maybe we should actually introduce ourselves and say, like, I'm Leia and you're Hilda, so people can kind of actually know whose voice is whose.
Who are we?
Because we had someone in the community, when they were new in the community, they were like, I don't know which one of you is which. And I guess that makes sense because it's hard to when you don't see the face. But we can at least try to make it easy. So, welcome to today's episode of Prattle Potion, you guys. Hosted by Leia.
And Hilda.
Hell yeah, bitch. There you go.
There we go.
That's just a thought I had to make it a little bit easier for you guys to kind of differentiate our voices.
That makes sense.
So, how are you?
I am good. Question mark? I'm good.
I'm good.
No, but I'm like really good because yesterday was my last day of work.
Yes.
And I am so hyped and I'm just so ready to start not working.
Yeah. Start your life outside of retail.
Yeah, so I'm studying and I want to stream more and I want to work with the podcast. Our Discord is blowing up and the community overall is just amazing. And
you had an amazing stream day yesterday because you hit a milestone.
I did. So yesterday was Monday the 29th of March and I had a stream. It was my longest stream so far. It was 7 hours. And you guys, I hit 100 followers.
Yeah.
And that was, it was a crazy stream. And the support was unbelievable. There was
the biddies and the subs, they were flying in like crazy.
There was, even though we had some minor issues with the channel point reward system and stuff like that. I think Twitch has been a bit weird last few days.
Yeah,
but
I think so too.
It was one of the best streams I've ever had, I think. It was so fun.
It is quite amazing.
Yeah, so big milestone. So happy.
So, as we have mentioned before, the Discord is not only if you follow our Twitch, but if you would like to join our Discord as a Prattle Potion listener, you're more than welcome to do that. We have a corner there, and we have a lot of fun and a lot of fuckery. And the link can be found in the description box below, but it can also be found in the About Me section of wherever you're listening to this, because the link does get outdated. So if you are listening to an old episode, I would go to the About Me section, but if you're listening to this episode when it comes out, the link in the description should be fine.
Yes. Nice.
Yes.
And
so
nice.
Yes. That's what we are. That's where we are.
What we are.
That's what we are.
That's what we do.
Oh my gosh.
Woo!
Wow.
I've got that from Family Guy and it haunts me.
Of course you did.
It haunts me.
You did.
But like before this podcast, before we started, not this podcast, before we started this episode, we were sitting down and we were just realizing, I think, as we were going through our Discord, updating it a little bit and stuff like that, cleaning it up pretty much, and we realized that we are growing kind of fast.
Faster than we thought.
Yeah,
for sure.
Then with like last night's stream and everything, like I still haven't wrapped my head around it all, I think.
Yeah.
It's a very strange feeling, I feel like.
Amazing strange.
amazingly strange. Yes,
Truly.
it's a good kind of strange.
Yeah. But strange nonetheless.
It's very strange, yeah. I think, like, at one point I will just stop and just be like, oh,
that happened.
Right. Oh, God. Oh, wow.
Oh, God. That is so amazing, though.
But how are you doing?
And congratulations again, Han. I'm doing... I mean, I prefer being transparent.
Yeah.
100%. So I'm not gonna be sugarcoating anything. But I do suffer from depression. I've been dealing with that for many years now, and I got really sick a few years back and stuff. And it's been really good this last 6 months and stuff. But I've had some turmoil, I guess you would say, when it comes to a lot of things. And I've hit a little bit of a I don't know, it's gone a little bit downhill, and I've the depression be hitting. So I'm actually starting to do be hitting
though.
Leia 2021 bitch.
Oh shit.
But no, so I am starting to do a little bit better, but I'm not gonna lie and say that everything is fine, because it's not 100% fine, but
no,
things not being fine, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's always okay.
We talked about this last episode as well. I think when I was talking about how I realized when I was staring at myself in the mirror that, oh shit, I'm stressed out.
Yeah.
And it's good to be transparent and actually just talk about how you feel, because that makes life so much easier for everyone around you and for yourself most of all.
100%.
It's just be open with how you feel. That's just.
And I'm not about putting up facades and stuff. It's not my thing. I have the worst poker face, and I'm not. That's not my thing. I like being transparent and honest, and I'm not ashamed of suffering from depression. So why should I lie about it? You know.
Yeah.
But it's getting better, and I think once I'm done with this exam that I'm dealing with right now, I think that stress is gonna shed, and I think things will pick up in a week or so. But for now, it's a little bit up and down for sure.
Yeah, and that's the normal. It goes up and down a lot.
Yeah,
it's
100%.
Yeah, good thing that you're on the way to get better, at least.
Yes, it is. It is very good, because I can't wait. But so what's your Prattle Potion of today, bitch?
Today I'm drinking coffee. It's my Prattle Potion today. Yeah,
Is it cold?
It's cold coffee. It
cold.
is cold coffee.
I feel like that's what you're sporting at this point.
Yeah.
On yesterday's stream, you were like, let's have this ice cold ass coffee made 6 hours ago.
Because I was like, I couldn't just make more coffee because it was almost midnight. I couldn't make more.
No.
But I still had some left, and I didn't want it was circle of life.
And I mean, you're not gonna drink it.
No, exactly. I'm gonna finish it.
It's coffee. I mean, come on.
So yeah, this was made. This was made perhaps 2-3 hours ago, I think.
Okay.
So it's cold. It's definitely cold, but it's not 6 hours kind of cold.
Oh.
What's your Prattle Potion today?
Let's move on. My Prattle Potion of today is as the teen I am. Apparently, I'm drinking.
Are you an angsty teen?
It's strawberry flavored and it's fucking delicious.
It's Power King.
It's Power King.
The Power King. Also, it's not Kong strong.
It's not Kong strong. It's in the same category of cheap ass energy drink, but they had we ordered groceries online, and we were like, oh, let's just buy some. It was right there.
So Power King.
Power King.
I haven't had that in so long. Many years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, have you not bought Power King when we have lawn parties?
No.
Just Red Bull, Monster?
Yeah.
Gotcha. And Celsius.
No. Yes. Yeah, and Celsius. Yeah. Nocco as well. I've had.
Yeah, so pretty much every
other thing.
Every other except parking. You just buy the
Stay away
most
from
expensive ones.
That thing.
You buy the most expensive ones. I mean, Nocco, Celsius, Red Bull, Monster. They hella expense.
What can I say? I like when it tastes luxurious.
Oh my gosh! What the
Where is my Birkin bag?
Do you have a tiny dog named Gucci?
No, but I have a she-devil called
that...
Nala.
Yeah, that's true.
She was so nice today.
Same.
Oh my god, wait, I have to tell you.
What?
She was so...
I don't believe you.
She was so kind today.
Is she dying?
I don't know what's happening. I think she's just getting old and tired of everything.
Oh my gosh, I hope so.
She doesn't have the energy to keep up that like she-devil attitude anymore. So today,
I hope so.
When we were walking her this morning, we met one of our new neighbors who is like, she has like a tiny child, so she was walking with her...
A tiny child?
Yeah, it's a tiny child. What's this called?
What do you mean, like a toddler?
Yes.
She has this tiny child.
She has this miniature child.
Oh my god.
Anyways, she was walking with
the woman with the tiny child. She was walking the child.
No, she was having it in the stroller, and she was walking past, and that was fine. Like, okay, don't care. And then, can you tell I'm the worst at telling stories?
The woman with the tiny child was walking by. She was walking it, and I don't care. That's pretty much the summary so far. Okay, try to continue.
So we met her and this tiny child further like along our walk, and we also met one of our other neighbors who has this dog. He has a Shiba Inu, and my dog, she chooses also which dog she likes, as she chooses the humans. And she doesn't like
me being
many
not
dogs.
One of them.
Yeah, exactly. But she doesn't like a lot of dogs or a lot of humans.
She doesn't like a lot of beings.
No,
period.
but this dog she has grown up with, so she's like, okay, she doesn't care about this dog.
Yeah.
But then she was like, she walked so calmly. She walked up to because they were talking, and she walked up to them, greeted them. Like, stood by the leg and were like, oh, scratch me, and they would scratch, and then she said hi to the little kid. She licked his hand.
Excuse me?
And then she went up to the dog and like started being like pushing him with her paw and was like, play with me. And the dog was, because he knows her, like he knows what she is.
The dog was like, what the fuck is going on?
He's really old, he's 15. But like he stared at her and just like drool dripping down his mouth. He just stared at it. He was like, me? I'm like 100.
Are you mistaking me for someone else? Yeah, you want to play now, 10 years later?
And me and my fiance stood there, we're like,
I don't know, are you good?
This never happens.
Oh my gosh.
And it was the first time we met the new neighbor, so now she's gonna think that this is her all the time.
No, don't get that confused. She's not a nice dog.
No,
don't talk to her if she doesn't talk to you.
No, exactly. She's a cat. She's a cat.
She is a cat.
It was the strangest
Oh my god,
thing.
that is crazy though.
Yeah, it was. I just had to throw that in.
Thank you for that. I mean, that was actually very interesting.
Actually,
I've known this dog for 10 years and I've never heard about her doing anything like this. So that was very interesting.
No, I've never seen her actually like starting to like play with the dog with her paws. Never. Never.
Hilda just did such a hand sign, like she just crossed both her hands across her throat, like she was so serious, like never.
I'm dead ass. She has never.
Never. She would never.
Oh god. Yeah.
So, Prattle Potion updates, all that jazz. We're done. We've gone through that. So I'm thinking maybe we should hop into today's episode. How do you feel about that?
Let's do it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, you have actually no idea what today's episode is about.
No idea.
Okay, because usually we keep each other in the loop or give each other hints, but it's been such a crazy week, and we skipped last week, which we haven't even... No, actually, no, that was the week before.
Yes.
Yeah. When this episode comes out, it was the week before that we skipped. So we haven't really like kept up with Prattle Potion. It's been a lot of crazy stuff going on. So I've written an episode and you have no idea what it's about.
Very exciting.
So
Can you tell on my face?
Yeah, so very exciting. Like, shoot me, please. But so today's episode is I'm still very much in the mindset of where I can pretty much only think about Skyrim. So today's episode is about Skyrim.
Oh, nice. We love that.
But today we're getting a little bit more specific. So this episode will be things that you might have missed in Skyrim.
Ooh.
We've
like
got
Easter
some
eggs?
Yes, we've got some Easter eggs, we've got some hidden quests, we've got some secret bosses, and all that good stuff. Let's get into it, bitch. So I think this episode will be fun for both new players, but also seasoned players that may have played for, because people that know about Skyrim or don't, like, this is a huge ass game. Like, you can be a veteran and you might still have missed something.
Yeah, you still like, oh god, is that there? Oh wait, what's this? You find like a cave and that you've never seen before, even though you have like 2,000 hours in Skyrim.
Yeah. So there are hidden quests, Easter eggs, and actually there are quite a few things that are, they were meant to be a part of the game, but then the developers decided not to continue, but they also didn't take out the parts that they started with, so there are like some unfinished stuff too that's kind of like an Easter egg detail that doesn't make any sense.
Oh.
So there are so many fucking things in this game, it's insane. Yeah.
I think we mentioned one thing in a previous episode with the Dark Brotherhood quest. What was that?
Yeah.
That you can destroy the Dark Brotherhood.
Oh yes, that is like one of those secret quests that isn't like apparent. 100%. And also that we mentioned that thing where if you take a long time, then that's like it kind of starts chasing you. And you get this note. That's also one of those things. 100%. So when writing this episode, I had to scrap a lot of stuff because there is so much stuff in the game. I had like I think I had like 5 pages of like notes for where I was like, I have to remove stuff.
I have to clean this shit up.
100%. So honestly, there might be a part 2 in the future to this episode.
Ooh, nice.
Because I feel like that is it is like I can continue.
It needs
this could 100% be like a series of its own on this podcast because there's so much stuff.
So many new things along the way.
Yeah, 100%.
I love that.
But so I picked out a few goodies, and I feel we should just dive right into it.
Let's do it. Hit me, bitch.
So I actually want to start off with explaining to you guys why I came up with this episode idea in the first place.
There's a story?
Yes, there is.
There's a backstory?
This episode is the one where I had a fucking epiphany on stream.
Oh, right. Yeah, you did.
That's this episode. So during one of my streams, twitch.tv/xravenite, yes. I was like, oh my gosh, I just had a great idea. I need to do an episode about this on the podcast. And I never mentioned what it was. And this is what this episode is. And the first thing on our list is what triggered that idea.
Okay.
So I sent you a link, Hilda. Would you open that for me, please? Yes. So when you walk around in Skyrim, you see, if you look at a building, you see like tiny marks on the buildings.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever noticed this.
I don't think I've actually thought about this.
I started noticing it so much, and I was like, what do these marks mean? Is this like a developer Easter egg? What is this? What is going on? I was so curious. Don't look at the link too much. Don't spoil it for yourself. Because I just need you to look at the pictures.
Okay.
When I ask you to. So this is actually a secret language.
Oh. A language?
So I started digging into this and I finally found what these things were. And they are called shadow marks. Apparently these markings are a part of a secret Thieves Guild code. Yes.
Oh.
And this is never mentioned in the game. When you become a part of the Thieves Guild, they're never like, hey, these markings are here, you can follow them.
It's a good thing if you know what they mean.
Yeah, but it's never mentioned in the game. And I thought it was so cool.
That is really cool.
I'll go through them now, and we will put up the pictures on our Instagram if you want to follow along. But I will describe them a little bit, and Hilda will look at the pictures as I talk about them.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's go.
So the first one is obviously the mark of the guild. You must recognize this one.
I did recognize that one, yeah.
Yeah. So this one signifies a place that is like a safe place for the guild members. So this mark is, when you go into the Thieves Guild, it's right outside of the guild, correct?
Okay. Yeah.
So an example for this is the hold in Riften, where you can find that. Mm-hmm. The next mark is the mark for safety. This means that there are no traps or enemies ahead. Then there's the danger mark next, which is obviously the opposite of the previous one. So the safety mark would be like, you can enter here, you don't need to expect any combat. The danger one is the opposite.
That is so, wow. So you could literally just go around and read this and be like, oh, well, it's safe. And it's going to be safe.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's crazy. I had no idea. So the one that kind of looks like an upside down drop with a line through it, that one is for escape routes. So if you sit in jail, for example, you can look for this mark to help find your escape route.
Wait, I never go to jail.
No, me neither. I don't think I've ever done it, but I want to try it.
Because now I want to try it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So the next mark stands for protection, which means that the people in the area is under the protection of the guild. Then the next mark is the mark for fencing, which is useful for...
So the protected one. Oh, wait. The people, they are under the protection of the guild and must not be robbed or assaulted.
Yes.
Oh my God. I'm starting to be like, have I assaulted a guild member?
Yeah. I think this is so... I don't understand how this is...
Fuck?
But next off is the mark for fencing, which is useful for when you wish to sell your stolen goods. So if you find this mark around, you could fence stuff, not only at the Thieves Guild, which is mind-blowing to me.
That's very nice. That's very nice.
A useful symbol for the looters out there is the mark of Thieves' Cachet, which is where it can be found on barrels and chests usually. This mark means that the contents in the chest or barrel should be fruitful. So if you loot, you see that mark on a chest or something, and you're like, I need to loot this chest because it will contain a lot of money or something that I can sell for something like a lot of septums.
Yeah.
Then there's the mark for loot, which shows that the place marked contains something worth of gold. So that could be like on a building. After I read this, I started looking around, and a lot of the shops in Solitude are marked with this mark right outside the building, which means it's like, hey, you should rob this place, like
rob me.
And then lastly there's the empty mark, and that one pretty much is the opposite, which shows that there's no bother for you as a thief to enter or try to rob this place.
What the fuck?
I know, there's like a whole secret language that we didn't know about.
It feels like I just need to go back into Skyrim and just run around the major cities and look at these marks and find all of them.
Because I did forgot to mention, this is something that you mostly find in the major cities. Solitude, Whiterun, Riften.
Right.
So it might not be like in the wilds, but it's where you would expect the Thieves Guild to have a holding.
Interesting.
I find that very interesting.
That is... I've missed it. I completely missed this.
Yeah, because I was kind of just glazing over it. Like, it was just like... I don't know, some scribble or like... whatever.
This is such a thing that I will now not be able to not notice.
Yeah. It's like, you can't unsee it now.
No, I cannot.
Yeah.
I will notice
so it's...
these.
I think it's very crazy.
I has been blind.
That it's not even introduced in the game. You don't get like if you're the boss of the Thieves Guild, you don't even get told about this. Like,
why wouldn't
like
they?
You know, you're the ruler of the Thieves Guild, and you don't even know about the secret language.
They'd be like the boss. The boss is kind of a bitch. Let's have a secret language.
Yeah, like apparently, what the fuck. So I thought that was really interesting, and I wanted to start that off because this is what inspired this episode. Because I couldn't stop seeing the marks everywhere.
Yeah, okay.
And I got a little bit obsessed.
I get that.
Shadow marks.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Now I'm reading a comment here, a few comments, and all of them are like commenting. They'd be like, "Oh, this is so much better than carrying the book around. Oh, well, in the book I only read about this. Oh, this is so nice."
What book?
I don't know. There might be a book about this, and you collect books.
What book?
Where can you find that about? Never seen those book says they can be on a log somewhere in the wilds. The fuck? Nice, this was helpful instead of carrying the book around all the time.
Oh my god, I need to find out what book. I'll do that for another episode.
Very
what is
interesting.
This book?
What the fuck? You have almost all the books in the game. How can...
Yeah. If anyone listening knows what book this is, please let us know in the comments or on Instagram, because I needs to know. I got to know.
I know what it is.
Oh, it is? Oh my gosh, tell me.
He's talking about the book, A Guide to Shadow Marks, found in the Ragged Flagon.
Are you serious? Wait, it's in the Ragged Flagon?
Yeah, it's...
I mean, that's the hold for the Thieves Guild.
I was talking about the one in the Thieves Guilds on one of the tables.
I have no words.
No, apparently there's a lot of people who were like, what the fuck? What book? And everyone was like, it's like two people were like, oh, it's on the table in the Ragged Flagon. They were like, what?
Okay, everyone, so apparently there's a book for this in the game. That is so see, this is such an Easter egg. If you don't find that book, you're not going to know about the shadow marks.
I had no idea about this.
This is very interesting. I love this.
I love that there's a book.
Me too. Because that does tie it together much better.
Oh, that's nice. That's really nice.
Okay.
Oh, that was interesting.
So, Shadow Marks, you guys. Check it out next time you play Skyrim and pick up the book if you're in the Thieves Guild.
Shadow Marks, am I right?
Shadow Marks, am I right, people? So, I finally know about the Shadow Marks now, which has, like I said, been bugging me forever. So, my main save is in the game is the one that I call my completion save, where I want to try, like, to do it all. You know this, you mentioned me with the books and stuff.
I want it all, I want.
Stop it. Don't High School Musical me. Like you mentioned, I have a lot of books, because I have this quest for myself where I'm trying to collect all the books in the game. It's an interesting endeavor.
It really is.
Yeah. But so the things that I'll mention now are some of the stuff I found that I had missed myself and that I was like completely oblivious to.
Interesting.
So that's kind of how I weeded out what I wanted to mention in this episode, because some of the stuff I knew, but I thought it would be kind of fitting to mention what was new for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
First off, though, I'd like to mention some hidden quests that aren't too obvious, that like no one really gives them to you, or the quest giver might be like very hidden. Because I want to start off with this after the shadow marks, because I had a very interesting experience the other day.
Okay.
So on my completion save, I was walking around in Windhelm. sneaking around, because my main character is a vampire right now, because I'm doing the Dawn Guard quest line on the vampire side on her, which you can also catch on stream if you would like to join our quest endeavor there. But so I was walking around during the night and I was hunting, like I wanted her to feed, right?
Yeah.
And so I entered a random house, and it was this. There's a little museum. Do you know what I'm talking about?
In Solitude?
The guy who has not in Solitude, Windhelm.
Oh! Sorry. As soon as you said museum, I thought about the Dragonborn Museum in Solitude.
Sorry. No. There's kind of like a little. There's this dude that runs a smaller shop of like odds and trinkets, pretty much, that he calls like a museum.
Okay.
And I was kind of lurking around his house because I wanted to steal stuff as well.
Yeah.
And I went upstairs on the loft, opened a chest, and I found a journal and a lot of embalming tools in this chest.
Oh.
Do you know the quest, The Butcher?
Not on the top of my head.
So this is a spoiler for the quest, The Butcher, for anyone listening.
Yeah.
But so in Windhelm, there is this quest that can trigger where you hunt a murderer.
Okay.
You find a lot of mentions of someone named the Butcher. I think this quest, in the beginning, you go to the cemetery in Windhelm, and you get to like hunt for clues and stuff like that.
I've done that, but it was a very, very long time ago. I recognize that, yeah.
Yeah. In the end, you get to make a decision of who is the guilty one. Who's the Butcher? Every time I've done this quest, I've said that the wizard of the court is the Butcher. There's a lot of clues that point in his direction and stuff, and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I had done this quest so early on in the game, so long ago.
Oh, okay.
And now, when I went up there, this journal said Butcher's Journal. I opened it, and it was signed by the man who lives in the house. And he was talking about killing people.
No.
And I was like, wait a minute. Wait, I've done this quest. He's not the guilty party. Wait, I'm so confused. I didn't understand anything.
Because you do find the Butcher in the quest that you did.
Yes, and I said I thought it was the wizard, so they arrested him, and the quest was completed. So I found out that there is a secret part 2 to the quest of the Butcher, and I stumbled upon this because how I triggered the continuation of this quest was that I went down to the jail, and I spoke to the wizard, and I said, well, I mean, okay, so I found the journal, which I obviously wasn't like supposed to do, but my dialogue with him was that I could tell him that there had been another murder. So apparently there had been another murder and I didn't know about it.
Okay, yeah. It's one of the things that could happen in the background and you don't just collect it at
exactly.
all. Yeah.
Exactly. And he was like, well, I told you I wasn't guilty. And you ask him for his help to catch the Butcher. And that triggers a second part of the Butcher quest.
What? Oh my god, that's crazy.
And I found that to be so interesting because that is not obvious.
No?
Like that's really what, like, also one of the things that was like, I need to talk about secret quests right now.
Yeah.
Because
that's so
that
nice.
is something that happens. Yeah, that is something that happens a lot in Skyrim, where it's not like an MMORPG where you find a exclamation point over an NPC and you go and take a quest.
No.
The quest can really like stumble upon you. You can stumble upon them. You need to do a specific action to trigger that quest.
Yeah.
Like Skyrim is so detailed. So I like a big tip for you guys, if you have done the Butcher and you have put the wizard in jail,
go
try and trigger. Yes. You might need to open the jail cell to talk to him. That's what I had to do.
Like lockpick it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But do it, because I found that to be so... Yeah, that is so interesting.
Oh my god, that's really cool.
Right?
And also kind of creepy that you found the journal in the house.
Right.
And you were like, oh, this
and
is
there was
the
like
guy.
a lot of embalming tools and like butcher tools and stuff.
Ooh.
So it was like a fucking kill kit up there. It was creepy as fuck.
God, ew.
So before I start with these quests, I want to say that I will just be hinting to these quests and tell you how to start them. But I am not going to give away what happens or spoil anything, because I want this to be a recommendations list and an experience list, or like a recommendation for experiences. So I won't tell you guys what happens so that I don't spoil the experience for you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's nice.
So first off, there is the Old Hrolden Inn, which is located on the eastern side of the rivers flowing near Markarth, just south of Solyun's sinkhole. If you pay for a room that the Timber Septim slept in, something very interesting will happen. And that's what I'm going to say about the first one. Just so you know, you can trigger a secret quest by sleeping in the Old Hrolden Inn.
Oh.
Yes, you just go randomly. There's no quest or anything that tells you to do this. If you sleep at this inn, if you rent this room, that will trigger a quest. And like I said, this is not obvious quests. This is so hidden. But so I don't want to spoil anything. So that's, now you know that there can trigger a quest there.
That is, like...
Yeah, that is so random. Like, I'm so excited to try all of these things out.
I need to do them too, I feel like. I haven't been playing Skyrim for a bit, but now I'm kind of getting... I wanna... Yeah, I need to play some Skyrim.
Yeah. So a quest that is really great for lower level characters apparently is that you can locate a man named Froki Wetted Blade to trigger the quest. He is located in his shack in the mountains.
Okay.
This is quite the climb though, but west of Riften, near Autumn Watchtower, you can locate his house halfway up the steep mountain. So you need to do quite the climb. Like, the shack is so close to the edge that if you like take one wrong step, you will fall to your fucking death.
Oh god, really?
Yeah.
The hell?
But if you actually manage to get up there and talk to Froki, you're all set for a hidden quest.
Oh my god.
So if you make it up there,
if you make
talk
it
to
up
Froki.
there.
If you make it up there, talk to Froki and he will give you, or that will trigger a quest for you.
Wow. Okay, nice. Nice.
So, so this one I found to be very interesting. So if you're ever bored and just feel like beating the crap out of someone in Skyrim,
always
go ahead, bitch. But instead of busting out your weapons, though, put your fists up and show everyone what you've got. You know, because if the right person is watching, they might ask you for your help in the future. So you might need to beat the crap out of a few people, but if you get the correct attention, you will receive a letter which initiates the quest "Scare My Enemy."
You're gonna go and beat someone up. Oh, yes.
100%. So basically, if you're in like Whiterun or Solitude, I mean, put your weapons down, put your fists up, and like punch people, like start to brawl, and that might trigger an NPC to give you a letter.
That's so cool.
And
I love those little attentions to detail. Like, oh my god, because that reminds me of a quest you get from the Thieves Guild, I believe, where you go like in the very beginning of the quest line, you like are sent out to just beat the crap out of a few people that haven't paid them or something.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I like that. I
think it's so interesting.
That is so interesting.
So I found like a lot of quests like this, but these are only a few of the ones that I myself had never heard of.
Yeah.
So that's I like I said, I have a quite a bit to get through. So
we're gonna move.
Those are the quests I wanted to mention.
Really cool though.
I'm probably gonna go through these. Maybe after the release of this episode, I'll take a stream to go through these hidden gems.
Yes, we need to do that.
Yeah. 100%. So something else that I had missed was the fact that the game contains secret bosses.
But would that count as like rare ones? Are that the same?
I mean, rare, sure,
Rare mobs,
but this is more... No, this is secret... you'll understand.
Okay.
Because defeating Alduin might be like the main quest endgame, but there are actually greater challenges out there for the Dragonborn to defeat.
Okay, so these are big guys.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. So first off, there is Volthuriel. Volthuriel, I think that's how you pronounce it. Volthuriel is a powerful dragon that can be found in the massive cave of Blackreach.
Oh.
Yes.
Wait.
There's a dragon down there.
There's a dragon down there?
Yeah. Yes. I was so... What the fuck? Like, you kind of apparently have to stumble across the dragon to be able to trigger the fight. But once you do, it's a very powerful dragon.
What the fuck?
So, there's actually a dragon down there. Which
crazy.
Is insane.
I'm like,
yeah.
Wait, where?
Yeah, I know, right? So this is like a secret boss. Like, this is boss fight level. Like, it's a boss fight.
Oh my god. Do you know what you can get from him? No. Okay.
No, I don't.
We'll
I
have
actually
to look
don't.
that up.
Yes. Secondly, we have the Reaper. Yes, this is the actual Reaper. Like, death itself is coming to collect your soul. You have to summon him by collecting 3 gem fragments and then perform a ritual at the Reaper's lair.
Like, how would I know?
No.
Who told you? Who told me to do this?
Yeah.
And where...
That's what I'm saying.
Where would my mind go if I picked up one of these shards in the wilds and I was like, it's a shard. What?
That's what I'm telling you. Like, this is... I don't mean rare spawn. I don't mean
these
random
are, like,
mobs. Like, this is secret bosses.
Yeah, I get it. I get that.
Yeah.
I'm just so, like, how would I make that connection myself?
Yeah, no, I have no... The funny thing that I do like about Skyrim a lot is that some of these things is just things that you can find in books. Like the Shadow Marks, for example.
That's true.
Like, they do incorporate the books, and you can only find out a few things if you actually read those books, and I find that to be so cool. That is
really cool, because that kind of not forces you, but that encourages you to actually collect the books, or actually read the books that you pick up. Oh my 100%. God, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's very fascinating.
The Reaper. The Grim Reaper. Oh God. Okay, we need to do that too.
So next up we've got Karstog the Frost Giant. This is actually a callback to a character in Morrowind who ruled Castle Karstog. If you find his skull in Skyrim and then place it on his throne in the castle's ruins, you'll face the ghost of Karstog, and this ghost is level 90. Which is 10 levels above top level.
What the fuck?
Your character... No, 9. Well, 9.
81 is the vanilla. I'm not sure, actually, if they added more levels to... When they added the DLC.
Dragonborn?
They might be, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure the vanilla max level is 81.
81, yeah. But yeah, so this ghost is level 90, so good luck with that.
Fuck, dude?
Yeah. Lastly, but definitely not least, is the Ebony Warrior. Have you heard about the Ebony Warrior?
I recognize that more than I didn't recognize the other ones. I've heard about this, I feel like.
Because this enemy seems to be the most well-known opponent in Skyrim. If you go off from the main storyline, the Ebony Warrior is the famous secret boss. So this mysterious Redguard warrior will challenge the Dragonborn to a duel once they have reached level 80. The Ebony Warrior proudly calls himself undefeated and has both melee skills, magical powers, and even a few dragon shouts.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh.
So defeating the Ebony Warrior is truly the ultimate test of the Dragonborn's power in the end.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. That like when you reach max, that's not the end. It's like now you have to do this.
Yes. And that's not apparent. Like, you have to actually play through it. It's not like he is the end game. Like, Alduin in that is the end game, you know, with the main story. But then there's so much else, and it just fascinates the shit out of me.
The door never closes. It just gets bigger.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Jesus. I bet you get some sweet loot.
Sweet loot. Sweet loot.
I love that.
So... I feel like that's just also such a motivation to actually get up to level 80.
Yeah.
To get to, like, it doesn't end there.
Yeah,
you know?
because
I think that's very fascinating.
Because I've always felt like when I've done the main quest, when I've done the Dark Brotherhood, I've done the Thieves Guild, I've done the Civil War, and stuff like that. I feel like it drives down quite fast if you don't know that there's something waiting, like there's more stuff out there. Because
but that's when you really have to like go out and explore. Like take the time to like sleep at an inn, because that might trigger something. Take the time to talk to everyone, because that might trigger a quest. Yes, all that stuff, and it's so amazing that there is so much content.
Because I feel like someone who is not very dwelled into any of the Elder Scrolls, like the franchise overall, wouldn't know that they could do that, and they wouldn't know that it would pay off in that kind of way. So I feel like these kind of things, when we talk about it and like tell people about it, or that other people are trying to tell people about it, that's great. Because I'm not sure I would stumble upon any of these. I didn't know he was like
that's
an
what
80
I'm saying. It's crazy.
Boss. That's like, now I actually feel like, okay, now there's a reason. Because otherwise I would be like, oh, well, I can level max level, but...
Yeah, there's a carrot.
Why
now.
would
like, there's an actual carrot now.
I could be just as good as level 50. Or, you know.
Yeah.
I 100%. Like that a lot. That's so cool.
So my last category of things, I guess I would say, is that I just want to touch on some Easter eggs or like hidden things throughout the game, which isn't just like quest stuff or anything. It's more like little tidbits, if you will.
Nice.
So firstly, we have Alduin's Wall. Alduin's Wall, you know, it can be found in Sky Haven Temple. Yeah. This is a prophetic... Did you say prophetic? Well, prophetic wall. I think a wall of prophecies, if you will.
We got there in the end.
It outlines the return of Alduin, which is, you know, a part of the quest. You know, he what's his face? What's his name?
Esbjorn? Esbjorn?
Esbjorn, yes. Sorry. You said Esbjorn, which is ice bear in Swedish. Esbjorn. Love that. But did I just say ice bear? It's polar bear. The direct translation is ice bear.
It's ice bear.
It's ice bear.
From now on, it's ice bear. Okay.
Oh my god! I just directly translated that in my head, but it's polar bear.
I love that.
Oh my gosh.
I love that.
Anyway, so on Alduin's Wall in the quest, Esbjorn does like see the prophecy of Alduin, you know, consuming the world and shit. However, the wall does contain subtle clues and stuff to events from previous Elder Scrolls games. Ooh. So it actually does outline the true timeline of the Elder Scrolls games, which we talked about, you know, that they were actually intertwined with each other, and that there's an actual proper storyline, and this storyline can be found on Alduin's Wall.
Because I feel like when I played through Skyrim this time around, and I got to that point, there was things when they were like talking about the wall and we were looking at it, and he was like telling the story of the wall. There were points where I was like, I recognize this.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Yeah.
There is a reason, because, for instance, there is a reference to the Staff of Chaos, which is central to the story of the first Elder Scrolls game, Arena. The giant Dwemer golem, Numidium, can be seen, which was a part of the Daggerfall game. The explosion of Red Mountain from Morrowind is also included. And lastly, there is an Oblivion Gate opening above Cyrodiil, which is from Oblivion.
Oh my god.
Yes.
That's so cool. I love this game.
Right?
There's like, I can't even... I love it.
That is such attention to detail, which I just love so much.
I love that everything ties together.
Yeah.
Oh, I love when it does
amazing.
that. I love when game does that.
It's amazing. So next up we have Sindarian. Sindarian was an Altmer botanist with quite the obsession with Nirnroot. You might... that is a good imitation. You might recognize this because his corpse can be found in a house in the Dwemer ruins of Blackridge.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I found that. I've done that quest.
Yes. So he was in Blackreach looking for an item known as Crimson Nirnroot. And if you look at his journal, you will begin a quest called A Return to Your Roots, which is you will be tasked to look for these Crimson Nirnroots in Blackreach. Yes. What is very interesting about Sindarian, however, is that he can actually be found in the Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Oh. Only that this time, or in this game, he's looking for just regular Nirnroots. He even gives the player a quest called Uncovering Your Roots. So apparently, Sindarian continued his passion between Oblivion and Skyrim, just moving on to Skyrim and continuing his quest, and just to meet his demise, I guess.
There he died.
Yeah,
looking for that.
So I find that's very...
I hate that sound.
Yeah, me too.
We should make a mod where it replaces the original Nirnroot sound with my nying, nying, nying.
If anyone's a modder out there, you know what to do.
You know what to do. Just do it. We won't question it.
I'm sure Dutch will download that with his 80 plus mods. Shout out to you, Dutch.
Shut up, Dutch. Jesus. I wonder why my Skyrim is broken.
But so I really love that there is a character in the different games where you can... I mean, there are several instances of this where you can meet one character in one game and then in the next, or they are referenced. This is a whole reoccurring thing, and we know this, but it's very
I love when they do that. It's like when the same with the Resident Evil games. There are very
they're very consistent.
Main character consistent.
Yeah.
And so when we saw, for example, the trailer for Resident Evil 8, you meet a character that is big character in the other games, and you go fucking crazy because you know who that is. And just the thought that you know a person like that character creates a sort of hype and a sort of nostalgia. I love it.
But I enjoy that aspect in Skyrim too, because it's not obvious or a big part of the game in your face, for example in Resident Evil. Here it is
it's a bit hidden.
You can run across this. Yeah, and I find that to be very interesting.
That's a little bit more it's a bit more cozy kind of vibe with that, I feel like. Yeah. Because then you can be wait, I recognize your name.
It triggers an association.
Yeah, and you'll be
which is very... it becomes familiar.
I helped you a few years ago.
Yeah.
You remember me?
Yes. Yeah.
A few years ago. I think it was a few hundred years ago.
Yeah.
You remember me?
But so... Next up, we are talking a little bit about the companions. So the companions, they are a faction, and they are based in Whiterun. Once you join them, you will eventually... It will be very clear to you that most of the leaders of the companions are werewolves.
Yeah, that gets kind of clear after a while.
Yeah, very fast. However, if you do have any knowledge of Eastern European languages, this might not have been too much of a revelation for you. Because, for example, the word Vukodlak, I actually looked up the pronunciation, now I can't remember it, but it's Volkodlak, I think.
Volkodlak.
Volkodlak is werewolf in Czech. And with the first two letters, vol, removed, this is Kodlak. And Kodlak is the name of the harbinger, right?
Yes. Oh, God.
So his name actually is a part of the word werewolf in Czech. The name Farkas means wolf in Hungarian.
No.
And his brother's name, Vilkis, means the same, wolf, though in Lithuanian.
Really?
So they are basically named Wolf and Wolf and almost werewolf.
That's like, it feels like Kodlak, that like they took away Vol, which could be werewolf. So
Yes.
it's wolf. So it's wolf 1, wolf 2, and wolf 3.
So I looked it up, and the word wolf means something else. But I saw actually an interesting theory where
I love theories.
they said that maybe his name isn't Volkodlak, just Kodlak, because he actually doesn't really want to be a werewolf anymore. So he tried to remove part of the werewolf. You know, like they tried to insinuate that he doesn't want to be a werewolf anymore. So he's trying to remove the werewolf, which I find very interesting.
That could most possibly be true because he's so adamant on not being a werewolf anymore. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So I think that's a very interesting thing.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. 100%.
Oh, God.
It's so deep. Like, are you kidding?
My head hurts because I can't comprehend, but I'm also so deep into this now.
It's so...
I love this.
I find it crazy fascinating.
I love it.
So this isn't as much of like an Easter egg, but maybe it's more of a hidden gem or just a very cool detail. Mm-hmm. So obviously you notice the birds in the skies in Skyrim.
Yeah.
You know, there are birds. Yeah. Like, whatever the fuck. Like, it's just birds, right? Yeah. But did you know that these birds have homes? That's right. The random ass birds you see flying around return to specific nests.
What?
They don't just fly around randomly. They don't just spawn randomly. These birds have specific homes. So the same bird, if you keep looking at the same bird, it will always return to the same nest. Yes. So you process that.
I was like, but why?
The detail in this is insane.
That's
like, these
crazy.
Birds actually have assigned homes. They're not just random. They live somewhere.
Do they mate? Do they have a family tree? Do they have names?
But the thing is, like, I find it so interesting because you can't hunt these birds. They are just decoration. But still, they do have assigned homes. That detail is crazy to me.
Yeah, just it's in every other game, they would just add random paper-like birds in the sky because of atmosphere. But the thought that these fucking birds have each a specific home?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I think it's crazy.
Why is that the most mind-blowing thing you've told me today?
I know it's...
Why does that, why did that affect me the most?
Yeah, I think it's very crazy, to be honest.
Think it must be because it's just such a simple thing. It's just such a tiny, tiny detail, such a tiny thing in this entire world of Skyrim.
Yeah, the other two details I'm gonna mention is just like the top, like the top of it all, like just to really show you the detail. Because if you look closely at the tree stumps, the chopped off trees, the tree stumps, you know, they have ants crawling over them. If you look at them, and
don't tell me they have homes.
Shoot, I actually don't know that, but they might have. They might have. I wouldn't be surprised about that.
That will remain unknown for now.
But another really interesting detail I found is that if you shoot a fire spell in the water will bubble, boil, and steam. And I think that's very interesting because they have actually like noted in the game that this is a fire spell and the reaction to the water is that you're boiling the water because this is fire.
And that just makes sense.
Yeah, but it's such like a crazy detail. Like that would go off if you accidentally miss a foe and you accidentally hit the water and the water would boil and steam.
Why
there.
does it affect me so much?
It blows your mind. You guys should see Hilda's face right now.
It blows my mind. I'm just staring at her at this point because I'm like,
yeah,
it's such like
the
small details that it's not anything like out of this world thing. It's a very natural thing. Of course, birds have their specific home. Of course, fire is gonna react to water. Like that's.
I think it has to do with the fact that we're expecting. You know, sure, we have dragons and stuff. That doesn't blow our minds, apparently. But you know, the fact that they pay such attention to reality.
Yeah, I think that too.
The details, it just adds to the depth of this game. Yeah. I think that's mind-blowing.
That is mind-blowing.
So lastly...
No, keep...
Did you want to say something?
I just want to say, oh God.
I need to leave it.
I'm broken.
So lastly, I want to mention one fan theory, or just a small fan theory, but I'm definitely feeling that this episode should have a part 2 in the future where we continue with these Easter eggs and stuff, because there is a lot of shit. But I will finish off with a little mystery or fan theory, pretty much.
Interesting. Shoot.
So, Lokir is the first death in the game. Mm-hmm. He is the horse thief who tries to run away from the chopping block only to be shot down by archers.
Yes, we all know this guy. He does a bombast split almost every time.
Yes, exactly. That's the guy. But before his death, he sits in the carriage with you and he takes the advice of his fellow criminals in the wagon to start thinking of home, which he mentions is Rorikstead. Mm-hmm. But thinking of Rorikstead for him might not be that comforting, though. Rorikstead is quite the odd place, and the people there, they never make any mention of Lokir afterwards either. So I don't really know if he was that beloved or anything. I mean, he was a horse thief, so maybe not. But the village is just very odd. It's a fairly remote village. It's very small. Yeah. But it is also hella sus.
I don't quite remember exactly which city this is, but where is Rorikstead? Do you know that?
So Rorikstead, if I'm not mistaken, isn't Rorikstead the town that is right below when you start going up to the graveyards?
That's what I was thinking. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it is. Now
I was thinking
becoming
that,
a little
so
bit
if
uncertain,
you were thinking,
but I think
and
it
I'm
is.
Thinking, then that might be a thought.
You thinking, I'm thinking, but feel free to correct us in the comments
please.
if that is not the case. So Rorikstead was once known as Roriksteeding, and it has a long history of first thriving, then dying, and then rebuilding. So they have done that a few times over. Rorik, which is the village noble, comments on how strange it is that they have such bountiful harvests all the time, considering the harsh terrain that they live in. Mm-hmm. The local mage, Juan Manette, then shushes him. That was difficult to say. And she then attributes their success to just hard work. But the mage does have a little bit of a secret. He is.
Well, yeah,
did I say she? Yeah, I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to say she. It's a he.
Well,
Sorry.
he shushed him. That's sus. Then
Yeah,
you know it's like
it's very sus.
It's her.
Yeah,
him. Sorry, it's him. It's him.
But he does have a secret, and it is that he is actually teaching a local child magic, which is something you can discover. It's nothing crazy weird about that, but the shifty thing is the way that he's like going about that, and it does raise suspicions. Not to mention the fact that also like every home in Rorikstead, they contain at least 1 or 2 like soul gems and a few books about the Daedra. So all of the homes contain this.
Well, that's
so
a bad
the fan
sign,
theory
everyone.
here.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. The fan theory here is obviously that they believe that the people of Rorikstead are Daedra worshippers. And that is how they are able to keep their like harvests so fruitful, even though they live in harsh terrains. Because since Rorikstead has had that where, you know, they have a tendency of like rebuilding and thriving and then dying and rinse repeat, you know. I guess maybe at some point they wanted to make a deal with the Daedra or a Daedric prince or something, and to keep their harvests fruitful and not have to build. Yes, exactly.
That makes sense.
So obviously we don't know for sure what Rorikstad's secret is, but that's something to think about.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And
that was my last part.
That is... I'm still so mind blown. Like, my head hurts.
Right?
My head hurts.
That was a lot of information. And like I told you, I had to cut so many things. So I would be willing to do a part 2 in the future. Really if people would like to hear about that. Because I would definitely like to do that.
And I'd also love to see that on your stream, honestly. I need to see with my own eyes.
Yes. I think that would be very cool to like go through all of those things.
Like the attention to so many small details in this game. I think we've said that like 1,000 times in all of our episodes. I'm pretty sure, because we talk,
and especially in this
we end up talking about Skyrim or the Elder Scrolls franchise pretty much every episode. Because we love it so much. But I think this is also why we love it so much.
This is a real, like, this is the proof you need to why we love it so much. Like the details, the attention that they pay. Like, okay, we're not going to be like... The obvious thing here is that Skyrim it's famous for being such a fucking bugged out game. Yeah. But that might also really show why. Like, the attention to detail and all the specifics they put in. It's
messing with it.
It's insane. Yeah.
And I got a thought, because I was like... Usually me with open world games and stuff like that, I get easily overwhelmed with a lot of side quests, a lot of main quests, a lot of this and a lot of that, a lot of weapons, a lot of armor, and you need to do this, you need to upgrade that, you need to do... There's a lot of things often, like for example Dragon Age Inquisition is one of those kind of games where in the beginning you get kind of overwhelmed, or I did at least.
I have given up.
Because the first time you play it, it's such like a fuckfest, because you don't understand.
Yeah.
And then I had to take like 2 years notice from that, and then come back and be like, okay, now I'm ready, because I know what I'm expecting, and then it worked. But like Skyrim has the same kind of big open world vibe. There's a lot of side quests, there's a lot in the main quest, and you can upgrade so many things, but never once in the game they sit down and they be like, you have to do this.
No.
Never once they actually like say, like, of course, like they ask you as soon as you escape Haven, they are like, yeah, you can follow me to the city. We can meet there if you want to go to the Jarl in Whiterun or whatever. And then he goes. And then you're like, hello? You're like a free... newly like born chicken. You're a chicken, and you're standing there and you're like, I don't know how to fly.
No, but that's what I like about Skyrim, that it's so free and open. Like you can definitely take part in this, but also don't.
It's all like, up to you. And they don't even like we've talked about today, all the secret quests, all the secret continuous quests, all the like small, like the bosses, the secret bosses, the Easter eggs, the signs. Like there is not once that they actually be like either. They don't even go up to you and tell you can either do this or that. They just don't tell you that. They just like you can go ahead, explore the world, see what you find, and do whatever you want with it. You don't even have to become Dragonborn.
No, exactly, basically. I just want to correct myself, too, that Rorikstead is not what we thought it was.
Oh, okay.
I know that they do mention it. I think when you're in Whiterun, you do get a quest where you're supposed to go to Rorikstead or something like that. I know that the guards do mention also that, oh my god, Rorikstead sucks and you don't want to go there and stuff. But Rorikstead is located, like, kind of between Markarth and Morthal. What is it called? Markarth and... Is it Morthal? Yeah.
Okay. So it's to the west.
Kind of. Yes, it is. It's kind of close to the Skyhaven Temple, but not really. It's, you know, when you west of Whiterun, there's like this open field with, you know, the giants, and you can like run for fucking ever. Rorikstead is west of that. Like it's kind of on the other side of that big field. Oh, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting it.
So that's Rorikstead. So I'm gonna correct that mistake right now.
Fine.
Yes.
I forgive you for luring me and lying to me.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
It's fine.
What is that place called though? The one which is below the mountain. No, I can't remember.
It's not Falkreath.
No. Falkreath is the big. It's the bigger city. Yeah, I don't remember
either. I can't remember. Please remind us.
Yeah, remind us in the comments if you feel like that. But yeah, so that was pretty much what I had this week. I feel like we can really sum up the episode with Skyrim is a amazing game with a lot of hidden gems, and if you feel like trying any of these things out, go for it. This is why we're making this episode to kind of make people aware of these things, which I feel is really cool.
And make me aware of these things.
Yes, including you, of course.
Aware of things we never knew.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, ever since we started this podcast, I think I've learned more about our favorite games than I've ever done before.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. 100%.
I would have never looked these things up.
No. And that's what I really love about running this podcast, that we can teach other people things, but we also teach ourselves things, which I think is very cool. Great. And it starts a discussion too, which I feel is very fun.
It was a great episode. Thank you for that.
Thank you. I'm very glad you thought so. That. And I definitely could see a part 2 in the future.
Hell yeah,
for sure.
There's more.
Yeah. And I feel like if you guys want to join our Discord, you can do that, which I said link in the about or description. Yes. In the Discord, I think I'm going to update, because after the release of this episode, we might do a stream, which is specifically to try out the things mentioned in this episode. So if you would like to see those things tried out, join the Discord to keep up with that alert that might occur. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube and SoundCloud, and stay tuned because there will be some interesting updates. Yes, there will be some interesting updates in the future for the podcast, so stay tuned there. I'm glad you enjoyed this episode, Hilda, so I think until next time, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you
Wash
then.
your hands, everyone.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Okay, alright guys. We'll see you next episode.
We'll see you. Take care.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.